Hey everybody, it's the Beardy back with the Beardy and the Baldy channel. I promise you the Baldy is still in existence. Like I said a couple weeks ago, he's got a new little one at home, so he's got a lot going on and all that. So I promise he will be back with some videos in the future. So in the meantime, he says hello to everybody and passes on his warmest regards to everyone. So there's that. I'll let you know that it's not just the Beardy channel, even though it might look like that at the moment. The Baldy will be back. All right, today is Beardy's Books. It is my comic book haul for the week of September 28th, 2016. Let's see what we've got. I think I got 8 books this week to show off. And first up is another in the Marvel Cinematic Guidebook universe. Or Marvel Cinematic Universe Guidebook, rather. The way they phrase that's always weird to me. But it is Age of Ultron, which I really love that cover. I think that's really cool. And it's got a great, it does all the updates on the characters, where they're at in the cinematic universe to the points of the film. And I think I've said before, it's really cool seeing how, they'll show stuff in here that flashes back to where characters are in the comics. Like here's Ulysses Claw, played by Andy Serkis in the film, and they show you some of his in the comics appearance and everything. So these are always these have been really fun, and I saw in previews that is out also today, the big previews catalog. There's going to be a Volume 1 hardcover collection of the first dozen or so of these, I think, coming out in a couple months. So if you missed getting these individually, there will be a hardcover collection show. Check that out in the back of the Marvel previews in this week's previews book. Okay, and on to the now regular issues for the week. New number 1 in the line of the reimagined Archie universe, Josie and the Pussycats. I had to go with that kind of classic Beatles takeoff cover, from is it Marguerite Sauvage or Marguerite Bennett? I don't remember who did the covers. They have them all listed back here. It is, yes, Marguerite Sauvage. So, great cover. And this is cool because it actually kind of shows the origin of the band, and how they got together, how the girls came together and become friends. And it's cool because they also, like the Archie and the Betty and Veronica's, they've got some of the classic comics in the back. They give you a little bit of an update or a flashback to see kind of how things were originally and stuff. So that was really cool. It was fun. It was fun. I personally did not enjoy it as much as I do the Archie and the Betty and Veronica, but it was fun. So now that I think we're through the origin issue, it might be more interesting going forward for me personally. But yeah, so there's that. Josie and the Pussycats number 1 out today. And I think my camera's sliding a little bit here. Let's try to adjust this. Okay. All right. Next up is another Rebirth, a new Rebirth one-shot from DC. This is Batman Beyond, which I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. It is the return of Terry McGinnis, which I'm not sure if he came back in the previous series or not, but I know this is him. And this was cool, because I've never really read Batman Beyond. I might have seen a couple of the episodes years ago when the cartoon was on. But this was kind of neat. It gives you, like a lot of the rebirths, it kind of gives you a flashback over their origin and sets up an ongoing story. So it's pretty cool. There's this gang called the Jokers with a Z that are all influenced by the original Joker, since this is taking place in the future. So it was pretty cool. It was a really cool intro for a character I personally really didn't know much about. So really enjoyed that. Next up, book is normally pretty much at the bottom of my rundown, meaning the top of my favorites this week. The new Wonder Woman, number 7. Frank Cho is gone from the covers with issue 6. This is number 7, and Jenny Frison did this. This is one of the alternate covers, and which it's an amazing cover. I mean, that's a gorgeous cover. I love when they can do the lasso, make it look glowy and special effects like that. This is really cool. And the artwork inside, Liam Sharp is continuing to deliver, fantastic artwork inside the book. It's not complaints. It's just this issue felt like we've been building up this whole confrontation between Wonder Woman and Cheetah and this villain, Ergistax, or I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's this big ancient spirit guy, and I don't know. It just feels like to wrap this issue kind of wraps up the whole story that's been going on in issue 1, 3, 5. It's only 4 issues, but it just feels like there was such a slow build to this point. It felt like the wrap up did not quite go as much as I would have liked. There's some cool stuff that happens, but overall, it felt kind of like, okay, we've built this up for 4 issues and it's over. But again, it's still good. Wonder Woman's still one of my favorite characters, and so just a little disappointed with that particular issue, as far as didn't feel like it paid off as well as some of the other DC books are at the moment. And that's not to insult Mr. Greg Rucka and the creative teams on this. That's just I don't know. Anyway, without spoiling what actually happens, it just feels like it wrapped up too fast. But DC delivers another really cool #1 rebirth this week with the Teen Titans Rebirth. Teen Titans is a team I've not been too familiar with until the New 52, and I read that and it just never quite landed for me. And this was actually a really fun issue. It's really cool. It kind of starts off, it introduces each character individually, and something happens to them at the end of each of their story, and then it kind of ends up explaining kind of what's going on in the end. But yeah, it's some really great artwork, and I really enjoyed that the fact that they've kind of altered Starfire. Starfire doesn't look like, I don't know, she actually looks like she might be a teenage character again, instead of a Playboy model like she was in the previous series. And this first page with Beast Boy is great. Him out of a club having fun, and it was a really fun issue. Raven's in here. Who else? The Wally, the New 52 version of the Wally Flash is in here, and I think he's still Wally, right? Can't remember. But anyway, the last page of this is really cool. I don't want to spoil it because it kind of gives away a surprise, but it's really cool, really fun issue. So if you like the Teen Titans, this feels kind of like it might be going back to that team of actual teenage characters doing their thing, and trying to figure out what's going on in the world around them. So it was pretty cool. Next up, Extraordinary X-Men. Number 14. Pretty cool cover. I like that. That big rock mosaic wall with the apocalypse-influenced Colossus. So this story mainly focuses on Iceman and Nightcrawler trying to find Peter, Colossus, and it's also continuing the story of Storm and Magic as they're going through these different dimensions to find Sapana, the young mutant that Magic was bonding with before she disappeared. And it's really cool. There's some really cool moments in this. I enjoyed the art. Victor Ibanez. I don't know. I don't think he's been doing too much of the art on this, but the art on this was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. The characters, had distinct visual personalities. The action's pretty cool, and it's setting things up for where things are going to go in the next couple issues. So this is pretty cool. I like this. To me, like I've said before, the Extraordinary X-Men feels like the most traditional of the 3 current X titles, between All New, Extraordinary, and Uncanny. Extraordinary X-Men feels like the classic team vibe, where you might have a bigger mission, and then you've got some of the individual character beats going on in the sidelines and everything. So that was really cool. But my favorite pick for the week, my #1 read this week, which I wasn't sure how I was going to like this story arc based off the way the last issue went, because it just felt not sure how it just did. It just felt not confusing or cluttered, but I don't know. There was a lot going on. But that said, the second issue in this story was really cool. I really liked. There's a lot of payoff here. It's second to last. Action Comics. 964 is a really good one. It's the continuing Superman meet Clark Kent story, where we've got the pre-Flashpoint, or the pre-New 52, however you want to describe him. Superman is meeting and talking with a Clark Kent who has no memory of ever being Superman, has no powers, and it's really cool because he takes him to this Superman's new fortress, which is different than the classic fortress. I mean, in a lot of ways it's similar, but it's its own unique thing, and it's really cool how they go through and explain all this. And then we see that Clark writes an article kind of explaining his day with Superman, and it's really cool because I think it really hits a lot of notes on what I think Superman is supposed to be. And then again, there's another amazing, final one-page splash page at the end, like with Teen Titans, kind of giving a pretty interesting reveal to see what's coming in the future of this series. So that was really cool. Again, Dan Jurgens is really knocking it out of the park with his Superman stuff. I'm really enjoying it, and the artwork in that was really impressive too. So all that. Now we come to the final issue. Number 1 pick for the week, Saga number 38. This was, as always, this book is just consistent, solid, always delivering great stuff. I mean, I want to show you the first page, but try to keep our videos PG-13 at most, and there's a little bit of dialogue in here that's quite amusing, but maybe not best for the YouTube. But this is a really cool issue. Issue 37 ends with Marco and Alana and their family and everyone that's with them in their tree spaceship landing on this asteroid that's been suffering through the entire war. It's like a microcosm of the war that's been going on, and they're refueling and everything, and they're there for a while, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And there's a tragedy befalls a character in this story, or this issue, that will affect everyone. It was very powerful, very surprising, so I apologize if giving you a heads up has spoiled any of that for you, but you have no idea who the character will be. It's a great issue. I really enjoyed it. Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan are just delivering one of the most phenomenal non-superhero, just phenomenal comics of modern era right now, I think, in Saga. So it's great. Love it. Great book. So that's it for Beardy's Books this week, September 28th, 2016. Next week we roll into October, and we'll see what kind of goodies we have next week. Not that the months really make that big a difference, but October's my favorite month, so I'm really looking forward to it. Fall will hopefully be really rolling in big time as the weather continues to cool off. I just enjoy that so much more. So anyway, that's it for Beardy's Books on the Beardy and the Baldy channel today. And if you get a chance and you're in the area, come to Comics Connection in Mechanicsburg or York. Both stores are open, and all our new books are out today, so stop in and get your stuff. And if you're ever passing through the area, come in, check us out. We're on Facebook, Comics Connection, Comics with an X. And otherwise, if you're in other states or other parts of the world, check out your local shops today and see what books are in that you're interested in. And there's a lot more stuff out there, as always. I don't get even remotely close to half of what, not less of a fraction than half of what comes out. It's another massive week like last week. So anyway, new comic book day. Go get your books, enjoy some comics, have some fun, post what you're reading, let me know what you think. Peace.